Do, do, do.
When can we actually come to church again, Lawrence? I mean, when can I come from Blandford is what I want to ask, really.
Yeah, mute a couple of people. Don't take any offence. There we go. Very, very warm welcome to a very special service today. This is in celebration of two events. Number one, we are coming up to Hydesville Day, which marks 186 years of the birth of modern spiritualism. And also, we are in our first anniversary year of being an online presence as a church. And I think you'll all agree the last year has had a lot of trials, a lot of tests, but there are also the nuggets there to pick up and hold dear to. And one of the dearest things is just being able to reach out to people across many continents, across the world, and make some wonderful new friends and acquaintances. So in celebration of that, today our divine service is coming from the UK, from Denmark, from Menorca, and from Australia. So welcome everybody. We look forward to everybody's work today, and you're all going to shine beautifully. I've never seen four more nervous looking ladies, so that's lovely. And to start, oh, and greetings from Ireland today as well. Thank you, Mary, for popping that in. So, Sue, if I could ask you, please, for the opening prayer. Thank you.
Thank you. You may like to connect to the God of your own understanding and bow your heads, please. Thank you. Divine and gracious Spirit, we thank you for your glorious presence for our divine service today. And we ask for healing for all those who are suffering across the world in pain, for those who need comfort if they are grieving. We ask for comfort and healing for our friends and loved ones, and for all the children who are caught up in poverty or any sort of abuse. We ask for healing for our animal friends. We ask for healing for the earth. We ask that we develop our empathy, compassion, and love for all beings, no matter what colour, class, or creed, and for all beings here on earth. We ask that we are given the wisdom in how to move forward with our world and come together as a world community. We also ask for blessings for those who are not unable to be with us today, but shall join us on Catch Up later. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sue. That was beautiful. And now we go to Denmark for Lola to read the Lord's Prayer, please. Thank you, Lola.
Thank you, Lawrence. Please join me in your own language, with your own energy, and let us unite in the Lord's Prayer. Fader vor, du som i himlen, hellig vor dit navn, komme dit rige, ske din vilje, som i himlen, således også på jorden. Giv os i dag vor daglige brød, og forlad os vores skyld, som også vi forlader vores skyldnere. Led os ikke i fristelse, men fri os fra det onde. Til dit er riget, magten og æren i evighed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Lola. Beautiful. And also, we share our 7 principles of spiritualism, which are the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man, communion of spirits, and the ministry of angels, the continuous existence of the soul, personal responsibility, compensation and retribution hereafter for all the good and evil deeds done on earth, and eternal progress open to every soul. Thank you. And now we go to our first piece of music for this morning, please. we'll go back to our first piece of music very shortly. Yay! Wonderful. Thank you, Colin and Fran, for the sharing. Wonderful, wonderful. So now we go on to our reading to today, and we're going to Menorca with the lovely Emma to share her reading. Emma, over to you, my darling.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I love that the music and the vibrations, and hopefully I won't dull them down too much with this reading. So thank you first for the opportunity and the invitation to speak today. When I was choosing something to speak about. I was thinking about the 7 principles, but I thought seeing as we're gathered from all around the world today, I would find something in relation to us all coming together and working together, as we're all kind of divided and separated at the minute through one means or another. So before I waffle on too much, I found this reading on a site called divinelovesanctuary.com, and it's actually a channeling through a medium called Al-Faig, and it's a spirit that comes through called Matthew, and it was channeled earlier on this year. So Matthew comes through saying, "Blessings to you, beloved brothers and sisters. I am Matthew. Indeed, we are with you in your ventures, each of you as you continue to grow in the blessings of God's love. As your souls expand and come into alignment with God, so you invite the angel friends to be with you as you continue on this journey. What joy it brings us to have you all who are present here and those who have participated in other circles of light to come together in harmony, wishing to continue to explore this great journey together and to expand out into the world, embracing all who may come to be a part of these great efforts and prayers. And all you will continue, and you will all continue to expand in your work together. It is very desirable that you all work together in harmony and continue to walk the path together. As our beloved brother has suggested, that you look to one another to support and encourage, for support and encouragement, wisdom and upliftment. Just as you look to God for the nourishment of your soul, so you may look to one another to nourish your efforts upon this material plane, bringing loving support to one another, to open your eyes and your minds and your souls and truly appreciate the beautiful souls that are around you who wish to work with you. In this world of yours, it is often an inclination to be separate and independent. In this way, one feels that they have grasped their own personal ability and power to act in the world, to be less vulnerable to those around them who may, in their minds, seek to influence and control. This, unfortunately, has allowed this truth of divine love to take many different directions in the world. But indeed, there is not a sense of unity as yet. And with unity comes greater power and ability to show the world the beauty of this journey, this path of love. When you are brothers and sisters working together, you demonstrate the truth and the power of God's love to unify, to bring harmony and to bring truth. Yes, most of you respect one another's journeys and do not judge and control this journey, this individual journey, but it takes more than this, beloved souls. It requires that you all coalesce into one body that understands its purpose, that expresses the will of God through you, that is strong and unified and clear. Indeed, each has his individual journey. Indeed, each soul is unique. And indeed, there are many aspects of one's spiritual life that are personal. But there is a unifying force amongst you, and that is the divine love of God. As this force continues to work its beautiful, transformative qualities within you, so it opens up greater avenues for you to reach out and express your gifts to one another. The power of the divine love within your soul, with its ever-increasing influence upon your mind, there is a tendency and a desire that originates from the soul to love your brothers and sisters and express that love in many ways. Do not inhibit this desire, my beloved and beautiful friends, but enrich it with your efforts and experiences in life together. In doing so, you create a powerful bond, a beautiful avenue for God to work through each of you and through all of you. As you are in this unified circle of light, this collection of beautiful souls working together, how much more powerful you may become as God's channels of light, love and truth in the world. How you may indeed find unique expressions through this unified field of individuals seeking to serve humanity. Yes, you may venture forth on your own and have powerful influence in the world, but imagine multiplying that influence through many other individuals, and you can see that there is a unique opportunity to bring powerful and beautiful truth to humanity through these mutual efforts and individual expressions joined together in love. Do not close your mind off from these opportunities, but seek to know God's guidance, to know in your heart and soul what is in harmony with God's will. In this way, you will find a great choice and an opportunity that is given with this invitation. Many things to you as you continue to walk on your path, growing in love, growing in your capacity to love, and growing in your abilities to serve as your gifts awaken in love. May God bless you on that journey, beloved souls. I am Matthew, and indeed I wish to encourage you to work together, all of you, all who are upon this path and desire to serve God. You are truly brothers and sisters in the world. Recognize the beautiful gift which is this fellowship. Recognize that God continues to open doorways and the opportunities to serve together, and you will find great fulfillment there and great joy. May God bless you on that journey. My love is with you. God bless you. And with that, I will hand over to Sue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emma. That was amazing. I'm not really sure if there's a lot to add to that at all or to say after it. But anyway, it was absolutely wonderful and so key for today's time as well, because we're having to recognise that we are a world community and we've all gone through a tremendous amount across the globe this year. And it's certainly given us a lot of opportunity to have a rethink about our own lives, the way we've actually been living them, and maybe how we'd like to move forward as well. And in some circumstances, we will be forced to move forward in a way that we perhaps hadn't even thought about because of what has happened to our life, and it's changed so much. And so it's giving us new opportunities. And I know at the moment a lot of people will be perhaps wondering what the way forward is. There's been a lot of fear generated as well, which hasn't helped, but it's part of the process. And that's more of a collective fear. But we also have the individual fear, if you like, of really perhaps not knowing how we're going to manage through where we're finding ourselves now, because there is a great deal of social and economical fallout that's going to come from all of this. And when I say that, this is not to be about doom and gloom. This is about us all realizing that everything is temporary and everything changes. And sometimes it changes not through our own volition. But this is where the human spirit comes in, and we dig deep. We find we do have a strength to go through different things and change things. And very often what seems to be possibly a shock horror or a bit of a doom cloud in our world can actually bring that feeling of the old saying, you know, every cloud has a silver lining. And now I don't say that as if, oh, you know, I'm dismissing this very lightly. I'm not. What I'm trying to say is that this is a time now where we've all grown as individuals, which is what Emma was saying in her reading. And also, as we've developed our individuality, we've recognized our own strengths, created our own world. We've had our life experiences and many more to come. But we also have learned how to come together and work as a unity. We work with our family together, or our friends, or in the local community, or we realize that we connect with everybody across the world. And so we're not alone in this. And we're not alone in this in the way that spirit are with us too. You have your own understanding or belief in your God. That gives you another strength too. And also I want to add here that to have some belief and trust in yourself, because quite often we don't realize how strong we are within ourselves as individuals until we're brought forward with a challenge and something to overcome. And then there's like a shift and a click over. Once we've got over the initial, oh my God, there's then the feeling of, how do I sort this out? How do I move forward? And something starts to come in that gives you an idea or a way forward, or you find that you talk to the right person at the right time, or suddenly another door of opportunity opens. And it's about keeping an eye open for that. And it's also about remembering that we are eternal and we have this strength within us, we have this divine spark within us, we have this eternal fire. And so we are now and always will be and always have been. And so it's a case of, this is where I am in my timeline. What am I going to do about it? Who do I need to ask for help? And that's a very difficult thing for some people, asking for help. Sometimes we've got so used to sort of doing and fixing and managing. Well, sometimes it's time to be on the receiving end as well and ask for the help. And so with all these things combined, there's yourself to fall back on, there's your God, there's spirit, and there's a whole world community, however it fits in around you. And whatever you do in your small space, you give that strength, that energy, that hope, that united human spirit, that collective consciousness of thinking, yes, we can do this, yes, we can move forward, and yes, we can create a new world which is fair and equal and more loving and heart-centered for all and everybody. We will have more care for the earth and for our animals, which are also sentient beings, and we can create a completely different world to live in, and a better place for us all to live in. This world's falling away now. So if we dig deep and we find our true spirit, we'll get through our personal circumstances and bring in change. And when we look back with hindsight, how often do we find that something struggling or something very difficult facing us brought us a whole new life, a whole new energy, and a whole new way of being? It was that moment where the points on the track clicked over and put us on another track, a brand new track of hope, joy and optimism. So again, I'd just like to remind us that even though we're all individuals, we are part of a world community. And it's up to us now to do what we can to move forward in a whole new way, because we're the people who elected to be here at this time of the world and the earth's journey, and we're the ones who are taking the earth from one way of being, the world from one way of being, into a whole new way. We are the people that are helping this transition, and the best we can do now is do the best we can so that we may help those who are coming on in all the generations behind us. So it's our turn now to bring in the light, hold the light, and know that we can move forward, and we will rise to our challenges. And we have got support from all sorts of different places, including our animal friends. And so bless you all. And I hope that actually you could resonate with some of that. Thank you.
Absolutely lovely. Emma, beautiful reading. Thank you for sourcing that and sharing it. Sue, lovely philosophy. Sue's cat, hello. Mad cat man of Paul, sorry. I make no apologies. So we now move on to our second piece of music for the morning.
I know it's all you've got to just be strong. And it's a fight just to keep it together. I know you think that you are too far gone, but hope is never lost. Hope is never lost. Hold on, don't let go. Hey, hold on, don't let go. Just stay one step closer. Put one foot in front of the other. You'll get through this. Just follow the light in the darkness. You're gonna be okay. I know your heart is heavy from those nights, but just remember that you are a fighter, a fighter. You never know just what tomorrow holds, and you're stronger than you know. You're stronger than you know. Hold on, don't let go. Hey, hold on, don't let go. Just stay one step closer. Put one foot in front of the other. You'll get through this. Just follow the light in the darkness. One step closer. Put one foot in front of the other. You'll get through this. Just follow the light in the darkness. You're gonna be okay. And when the night is closing in, don't give up and don't give in. This won't last, it's not the end, it's not the end. You're gonna be okay. When the night is closing in, don't give up and don't give in. This won't last, it's not the end, it's not the end. You're gonna be okay.
Thank you. And now we come on to the communication mediumship of the morning. And first up, I've got two ladies looking at me very nervously because they don't know which one it's going to be. And we're going to go live to Australia for the lovely Kylie because she's grinning and beaming there. Kylie, good morning, my darling.
Thank you, Lawrence. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. I'm very happy to be here. Okay, so while I'm reading, I don't mind if you guys want to wave your hands around and let me know that you can take anything. All right, so as I was sitting here, I am aware of a lady coming in. I believe that she would be somebody's mother that is here. I also know that she mentioned something to do with swimming. So a love of swimming in the ocean. And this is somebody who would have gone out to, I want to say, do laps in the ocean even. So would this resonate with anybody, a mother who would have liked to swim in the ocean? Hello, Paula.
We've got Paula and
Fabian.
Dunia.
Uh,
Oh, you didn't raise your hand, sorry.
We've got two, is there? So
Oh,
we've got Paula
Fabian and Paula.
Hello,
Hello.
Paula.
Oh, and
how are you
Cecile.
this evening?
You have
Well, how are
three.
you today? Who's the third one?
Cecile.
Cecile. I did see you smiling at me, Cecile, and I did wonder. So, okay. And we've got Fabian. So, hello, ladies. Okay. So, with this lovely lady, your mother, I know that she is presenting herself in an earlier age. This would have been when she was getting the 1950s. So this would have been somebody who would have done this more when she was a lot younger, is what she's saying. So would this be understood by Paula? Would you understand that? Yes. Fabian?
Well, my mother swam every day.
Would you understand that I've got a reference towards the 1950s, and that she would have done this when she was younger?
No, in the 1950s.
Not in the 1950s,
No,
okay.
70s.
Okay, thank you. Cecily?
I'm not sure, but my grandma loved to swim. but
That's
it's
okay.
My mom, and I don't know any about the 1950s.
Okay, that's okay. Keep on listening. That's okay. So Paula can take the 1970s. That's okay. So with this lovely young lady, she is also showing me that she had, what she's saying is that she's got a very homely feel about her. She really enjoyed doing her garden. You would remember her being, I want to say like a breath of fresh air, because she always went in that extra special touches, those extra mile, and her garden would flourish with flowers. And she just had that extra touch about her. No? And Celia's moved. Does that make sense to you? Sorry, how am I pronouncing your name right? Cecile?
Yeah, my name is Cecilia.
Cecilia.
Yeah.
So would you understand that your mother had that special touch, that she would put those extra touches in around, and especially within the garden, there was always flowers blooming?
She was always in the garden. We were always
Yeah.
in the garden when we were with her, always
Yeah.
outside or swimming.
Beautiful. So I do think that I'm with you, Cecilia. So thank you to Paula and Fabian. Cecilia, you would remember that when she was, when you were growing up, that this is your mother. I just should check with this. Would this be your mother?
No, it would be my grandmother.
Your mother, your grandmother. Okay, no worries. So with this lady, that you would remember that she was somebody that was in your life from a very young age, and she would have had that ability to be able to make you feel quite safe as she was with you. There was a lot of love. You would have always remembered that when you were with her, that you were important. You were important. Would it be correct to also say that you've got a brother?
No, I don't have a brother.
You don't have a brother, okay. So I'm just picking up on a younger sibling there. So would it make sense that you have a younger sister?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So she's just referencing that there was the two of you. So would that be correct in saying the two children?
Yes.
Okay. So she's got the two of you together. You were very important to her. Now this, okay, I believe she's saying this would be your mother's mum. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And your mother was the firstborn, I believe she's saying. Is that correct?
That's
Okay.
correct.
So there is that specialness about being the firstborn. There is that importance there that comes with that. And she doesn't want to miss that. She wants to really impress that upon you, that she is still very much in your life. That is where she's coming from with this. I'm just feeling very much presence with her in your life. The importance of that. That seems to be the bit that she wants to really drive home. She's like, I was in my kids' life as well, and this is what I do. This is how I show support for them. So she's coming around today to be able to tell you that she is still in your life. You look at the stars and you think of her, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so she's aware of that. She knows that that is something that you do, and she wants to say that she understands. She does hear you. There are things that you are saying that she hears you. Okay, we won't go into it, but she's saying she hears you. Okay, so she's here to validate that she is listening, and that she knows that you look at the stars and that you are needing that support, and she's definitely here for you. So I'm going to leave her with your love, with her love, and thank you for working with me, Cecilia.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was very beautiful.
Thank you.
Wonderful,
Alrighty.
Carly. Would you like to continue, please, as you're in that vein and energy?
Yes, we can go again.
Wonderful.
See who's here. Okay, so I have a man here. If I could remember the details of the person he's bringing through, he's bringing Sammy Davis Jr. through. So I'm not sure if I've got somebody here named Sammy, someone who lived where Sammy Davis Jr. was, or if I've just got a comedian here. Okay, somebody that was a little bit funny. This man comes through. I can't get the feeling between father and grandfather. It feels as though there's a blend there. I am leaning more towards a grandfather, though. I do feel the connection between that. So would somebody understand with the information, the Sammy Davis Jr., I'm not sure why, a reference towards a grandfather in spirit that they understand this information with? More information needed, that's okay. Okay, so with this particular man, look, I do want to say that he is, I'm in Australia, okay? So I feel like I want to say this person was from New York. I don't know why. It seems to be that there's something going on with a connection to New York. So would that help anybody understand who this is? No? Okay. So, okay. So I hope I haven't got Sammy Davis Jr. He's alive, isn't he? No, he's passed. I don't know. Okay, so
We've
yes.
got Emma from Menorca, who's understanding.
Okay, I did see you. I thought you were brushing your hair back.
I was a
Emma.
little bit. Hi.
That's why I ignored it, because I thought, okay, so would you understand a grandfather in spirit that has that connection to New York?
Grandfather in spirit, they would have had a connection with someone in New York, and my mum, who's still on the airplane, is like a big fan of Sammy Davis Jr., so I can take the links in that way.
Pardon, just say that last bit again. I can't hear you properly, Sammy.
Sorry. My mum used to be a massive fan of Sammy Davis Jr., so it would link in that way.
Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because it comes through, because that's why I'm sitting here thinking, I feel like I've got Sammy here. But obviously this is somebody in front of that. So you can understand this for your mother.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can understand the connection to New York, and this would be with your mother, would it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, no worries. All right. Okay, that takes a twist on things, doesn't it? That moves things around for me. All right, because what I'm getting with this particular connection is that this person would have loved to have danced. So would that be correct for your mother, that she was a big fan of dancing?
Not my mum, no. Sorry.
Okay. Nobody else understands this particular piece of information? And if you can't take this as, say, a grandfather and the relationship's wrong, would you understand a man in spirit that was somehow connected to New York that had a love of dancing? No? Oh, Sue?
I've just remembered somebody in the family who had connections with New York, and he also used to go to the local ballroom dancing here in the UK with a family member. I don't know
Okay.
Davis though.
You don't, what, sorry?
Don't know about the music side of it though.
The physics. Sorry. Sorry, I'm just not catching that last word. The what? The what?
I don't understand the music, but that's a possibility.
Okay, okay, so music. Sorry, I didn't catch that word. Okay, so just listen in, Emma. We'll just keep on going here for a second. So with this particular person, you would remember that they would have liked to have had that, there was a spark in their life. They would have always been somebody that would have come into a party situation, but they would have had that life about them that it was like people gravitated towards them, but they were just being themselves. That was just who they were. So does that make sense, Sue?
I'm not sure, Kylie, although if it was in the dancing world, probably, because they made a bit of a fuss of one particular dancers.
Okay, okay. And Emma, does that make sense to you? Would your mother have been somebody that was that way?
It would be my grandfather that you've got, if it is, but I can't really resonate with it. I'm afraid, sorry.
Can I just say
Okay.
that Donna's just put her hand up?
Hello, Donna. I didn't
Hiya,
see you
sorry.
sneak in.
I can take parents that are big into ballroom dancing, and I used to live in New York.
Okay. Okay. And can you take a reference towards either the name Sam or Sammy?
Sorry, what's that?
Can you take a reference towards the name Sam or Sammy?
Yeah, yeah, my dad's niece.
Okay. Okay. So maybe that's where it is. Ladies, keep listening. Donna feels the most the most with this one. Okay, so with this particular man that's coming through, he would have been somebody that you would remember had the time to be able to take you places. They would have put in the effort to organise outings. And
Yeah.
I want to say that there would have been something that would have been, I believe that he would have had a boat. Would you understand that?
Not a boat, but we live near the sea.
You live near the sea, okay. Because what I'm actually getting is that you would have gone out fishing with him, that he would have put the time and the effort in to take you out fishing for at least an hour, he's saying.
Oh, it wasn't fishing. No, it would be.
Not fishing.
They had a caravan near all the boats at the seaside, so but
Okay.
always outings everywhere, taking us out everywhere.
Okay, okay. And did you understood the reference towards the dancing, because that was how these people this person came in, that there was
Do the
this
dancing.
love, yeah, that there was this love of this dancing.
Yeah, ballroom dancing. We used to do it together.
Yeah, okay. And I've got that the feet would have been going flat out. That there was a big love of having some fancy footsteps happening here. And I even want to say that there would have been a little bit of ad-libbing, you know, the added extra steps.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense?
We knew each other very well as dance
Okay.
partners. So.
Okay. And you'd also remember that he thought he was quite funny when he put those extra little steps in, and that it also made it difficult for when you were trying to keep up.
Yeah.
He thinks that's hilarious. So there's definitely that memory there for you from that. And I'm only getting that you would have been quite young when you went dancing, like the age of 8.
Yeah, I started to go towards professional. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just
Yeah.
referencing that you were quite young.
Yeah,
He's very proud of you.
Yeah, yeah, that was the
Yeah.
right.
He's very proud of you for that. And even though he's just saying, even though he was being really silly, he was very, very proud, and he realizes that he had little bursts of energy here and there, and he didn't mean to make it more difficult for you, but that was what was happening. He was just so excited. He had so much fun, and there was that that I want to say the quick step, something to do with the quick
Love
step.
the quick step. Yeah, we really like the quick step.
Yeah, there's something to do with the quick step. He's just showing me that he's looking down at his feet all the time, so he would get right into this, almost to the point where he'd forget you were standing there because he was pulling a few moves with his feet mostly. Okay, he's kind of like the head was down and the hands were in a fist, and he was just going for it, you know, having that moment all on his own. So yes, but no, he definitely has very fond memories of getting into that. He's really making a big reference towards the fact that he did go into his own little world with this particular dancing. On occasion, you would just see him fade away off you and have a little moment, couple of seconds of his own little thing, and then he'd be back, and then he'd rejoin you.
Okay.
So he seems to be making quite a point of that one. He definitely, yeah, okay. So he's just showing me that he is definitely taking you in his, taking you with him to do these things together, to be able to have that connection. And what he's doing is he's twirling you around the floor now. In my mind's eye, it's I'm not seeing this as literal, as I'm feeling that this is what he wants to say to you, that he is taking you on that journey where they twirl around the floor, and for that moment while you're twirling, nothing matters. Okay, nothing matters. Okay, in that moment, you become like that one unit. Okay, now he also wants to reference that he is he's never left you. He's been gone a long time though. Is that correct?
Not that long.
Not that long?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Something to do with
It could be because of his illness. He was gone for many years before he passed. So to
yeah,
speak. Yeah, 15
because
years he was
yeah.
ill.
So I'm picking up the distance. That's why I was just thinking, is it distance in another reference? But there's distance
Yeah,
somehow
could-
there, and I
Okay. Yeah.
and but I was getting that he was gone, and that connection wasn't there. So that would be correct in saying that way. Thank you, Donna.
We lost the connection because of his illness. Yeah. So
Yeah, no,
couldn't
that
be
makes sense. Yeah, but he's saying that with that. So what he's doing is he's tying up the connection between twirling together, and it doesn't make any, in that moment you are together and there's nothing else in your mind at that moment. There is only that moment. He's also referencing the distance between him leaving you, as you mentioned. And I know that he's also saying that with that moment, that never stopped. Okay.
Mm.
I'm getting emotional. He's saying it never
Yeah.
stopped. So I'm going to leave that there. I believe that I've said everything he wants me to say because I can feel his emotions coming through with regards to nothing else matters in that moment when you dance together. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for working with me, Donna. He's lovely.
Thanks.
Wonderful,
got there.
wonderful,
Thank you.
Kylie. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lawrence.
And now we switch over to the lovely Lola.
Thank you, Lawrence. Well, I'm working quite the same. I will give some evidence, and please raise your hands. I think Lawrence will help me with the audience. Well, first of all, I'm very aware of the man here. I know he's a brother, and he's telling me here he's got a sister and a brother. He was, I feel he was in his mid 50s, late 50s when he crossed over, and he died of I don't know, a stroke or something like. It was very fast. He was a very, very strong man who lived in the edge of a town. I feel like a little outside from the town. I hope you understand. And I know he wants to. I know he wants to speak with his sister, who moved into the big city. He's telling me here. Can anyone relate for this brother?
If anyone can understand the majority of the evidence, or there may be some difference in either the relationship, please don't let that stop you joining in, because we need to work together to secure those links.
I just continue working because he lived. I feel like he lived alone, and he liked to be on his own. He likes to be with his mates who came around. I feel he was very much into hunting, working on cars. On his property, there was not lots, but a few cars, broken cars. He likes to just, he had many dreams about those cars. I see a pickup truck. There was many things on his farm. I don't know if you call it a farm, a house outside. Household. Corrected. But I know he's telling me here his sister moved to the big city, and they connected with handwriting letters and telephone. Can anyone relate to this man? No.
No one currently, my darling.
I know he was very fond of music as well. He's listening to all the records, and he loved to and beer. He's showing me lots of beers. He was not an alcoholic, but he just loved the beer. And he loved as well this hunting. I see he has a rifle, and he loved hunting as well. No one?
Any takers?
Can you just recap the information, please, just in case? Yeah, might help. Thank you.
Okay.
Just the point.
I have this man here. I feel he was a loner. I feel he was living alone. He was living outside the city, and on his property there was a lots of cars, pickup trucks. I just feel a lot of dust. He died when he was in his late 50s. I feel like he died home of strokes. I don't know the words in English. It feel like a stroke. It went very fast. He loved beer. Not that he was an alcoholic, but he loved drinking, listening to music. I can see he put old records on, and his family is living far away from him, but in the same country. I feel he has a brother and a sister, and I feel he wants to connect with his sister.
I'm not making this fit, and I'm not throwing you a lifeline, but I don't.
You don't have to.
No, I know. I do understand it on a friend of a friend link. So some of the information I wouldn't quite understand. But I can place a gentleman very much as you've described, even down to, I know there were rifles within the estate, and I know there was a great passion of cars. Just some of the background detail I'm not aware of. I do know definitely there was a sister, because that was an issue around the time of his passing.
Yeah, I know, because he wants to talk about his sister, about the relationship with his sister.
Yeah, from what I know, I think he would. Yeah.
Don't feed the media.
Oh, okay. Well, after midnight.
But if I'm with you, Lawrence, can you understand when I'm seeing lots of stuff in this property, lots of newspaper. I think the cleaning went a bit wrong here, if I can say that.
What we call a hoarder.
Yes. Yes. And it was all sorts of things. It was just like old newspapers, old pots and pans. I think it was deliveries from his parents, or things he found inside and outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. This man was very stubborn.
Yes.
Thank you. And in his life, this discussion with his sister, he was actually very, very, very proud of his sister. That's very important. That's the important message here. But he wouldn't when he was alive, tell her that. But everybody knew he was proud, because he was bragging with about his sister.
Yeah.
But not to the sister, because she shouldn't have that. I feel he was very much alone, and it was a choice he made for himself.
Yep.
He's telling me here, and if he didn't make that choice, nobody could. He have a very nice sense of humor. He said nobody could handle me anyway, so I just need to withdraw. I hope you understand that.
Yeah.
Because he was so stubborn. When he had an idea, it was his way, and that was it.
Yeah.
No compromising, even though he knew he was wrong. Yeah, and he was very wrong with his sister.
Yes.
But he wouldn't tell her. He wouldn't give her that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's coming here today to. He loved his sister very, very much and misses her very, very much. I don't know, I feel like he's coming to tell that she needs healing. She needs to close this book, and she needs to know that he really do and did love her. And she really needs a closure on that. Do you understand that?
I do understand that.
I feel this is going way back to when they were living with mom and dad.
Yes, it did.
There was a bit, she was always the bright one, and he was always the grumpy one. He was always the troublemaker. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, from what I know, I'm working on secondhand information that I've been told. So yeah.
Okay. But he's always he's telling me here that it's so important to us in this life to tell how much we love each other and not holding back because of grudges or old guilt, old shame, old blah. We need to open up and just embrace each other. He said in this Corona time, he would love it because she would suffer because she was very outgoing.
Yeah.
He was very inside.
Yeah.
But he loves her and he loved her very, very much. So great, great healing. He's sending a tremendous healing to her. And if you can tell her that she was very much loved, and she is very much loved.
Thank you. I will pass that on. Thank
It's
you very much.
important.
Yeah.
It's very important. I feel that. So I will leave him. So I will take another.
Yes, please.
Okay. And I do have a very lovely, lovely lady here. I know she worked in the church community. She's telling me here she's a pioneer. She died when she was about, I feel she was about late 70s, start 80s, but I could be wrong here. She was very tired the last, I feel, 5 or 10 years she was alive, but she worked in a church and she worked in the community. And again, she's telling me here she was a pioneer. So she started very young to establish a community. I don't know how it works, but she's just telling me here it was she was a healer, not only hands-on, but with her speak and with gathering people. I don't feel it's. She's telling me here it's not so long ago. I feel for the last 5 years she passed 5 years ago, around 5-10 years ago. I hope she had a husband, so he worked not so much in the church as she did, but a little. She said, maybe I forced him a little, but it's okay. He grew to love it. And I know she had a son. She left a son, and I do feel she left her husband as well. But he was quite ill when she passed. Can anybody take that lady? I don't feel it's related. I feel she comes more friendly. But
Okay.
I could be wrong.
So if anybody can understand parts of that message, please, we're terrible people at times. We go, oh yes, everything was correct except, she was right-handed or something like that. So if you can understand part of that energy and part of that message coming through, please make yourself known.
I think she was very strong and active in the church. I don't know if I'm so poorly with names. I do feel I am in I don't know where it is, but in Brighton or Sorry. In that kind of area, or it was a little church.
We do have a hand raised here, Lola. So if you'd like to, Jan, if you could unmute yourself, my darling, and communicate with Lola, I'm sure that will strengthen that link. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can
Yeah, I can hear
indeed.
you. I
Great,
can't
thank
see
you, Lola.
Do you know of that? She was a little tiny lady. The
I know
last
who it
10
is.
eh?
I know exactly who she is, yes.
Okay. And the last 10 years of her life, she was very tired, but she really tried to keep up helping the society, the community. She was still
Yes.
active, a kind of way, the best she could. She started, she was with this church early on, from she was a pioneer. She's talking here about she was a pioneer of healing and speaking and gathering people. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
she was a medium, a very good medium and a trance medium, physical and mental medium.
Okay, she's just telling me the importance of the healings between the worlds.
Yes,
this world
very
and the
much,
other side.
yeah.
Okay. And do you understand she left a husband here?
She was not with her husband for the latter years. She definitely left a son,
Okay, thank you. Because I just feel that.
but he could
but
well have been. The husband could have been alive when she died, but she wasn't with him.
Okay, she's just telling me she left him.
Yeah.
So this she's coming here with the importance of keeping the church alive, the spirit alive in the church. Does it mean anything to you?
Yes, it does.
And keeping her work going on.
Yes, I understand that.
So you are medium as well. Does it make sense?
It makes total sense, thank you.
She's telling me here the importance not to just be a medium, but be a communicator, both speaking and healing, and be around the community. It's very important this time to gather people after the lockdown. It's very important that you go in, not just you, but the church go in and take care of the community.
Yes.
And there are so many sick people, not in the head, but sick heartaches and longings, and they really, it was a very, very strong motivation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was so talented in every way, but ultimately she was a healer. That's how she saw herself, as a healer.
Exactly. And it's so important to heal the community after this lockdown, to gather people, open the doors again, and just let people in. It's very important because there are so many people out there. She's very concerned about the community. She's very concerned about the people outside, and how strong they miss the church, how strong they miss the spirituality, the words, the healing. And you have a great work, a big amount of work, I think it's the word, in front of you. And it's time. I think there is. She's talking about. There is a. There is a. How do you call it? Split? There is some debate in the church. There are some divided. I don't know. Harsh word. Do you understand this?
I don't personally, but I'd say she's probably speaking generally now.
Yeah. There is some in the church. There is some some divides. People are fighting, nagging, and they really need to come together.
Yeah. Church infighting really bothered her throughout her career and her
And they
life.
really
She
need to
saw
come
it,
together.
and
Okay.
it really bothered her. Yeah.
And they really need to come together and just listen to each other, not arguing.
Hmm.
Because we are one big family, she says. No matter what you do, or you just a healer, or you just a medium, or you just it's very important to come together. And she's telling me here that she's very proud if we can lift this in the church to come together, because we really do need healing now.
Yes.
Very important. And she will always keep an eye, and she will always be with.
Oh, thank you.
And she trusts the work you're doing.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me.
Just be you. Just be you. Just be honest and be you. That's the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you. Her name was Al, and please send her my love, and I sent her my love.
Oh, she's with you.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Wonderful, Lola. Thank you very much. Sue, I believe you'd like to quickly step in as well.
Yes, thank you. I have a link here. I feel it's for Robert's iPad, but everybody else listen just in case I'm off the mark. I've got
Hi.
Hi. May I work with you, Robert? Is that
Yes, you can. Yes, thank you.
I have a tall, broad-shouldered man. He's quite big in build that's come in, and he had quite dark slate-coloured hair.
Yes,
And he also had he's got dark piercing eyes, and it was as if he could see into your soul. Does that make sense?
yes, aye. Yes, it does.
He also says that his words are, he didn't suffer idiots. You know the saying, you don't suffer fools. He used the word
Yeah.
idiots, if that's okay. And also, he was very kind, but he could also be very direct.
Yeah. Yes.
I can see, I've got two styles of outfits here. I don't know whether this will make sense, but one of them I've got is this is how he's coming. He's coming with a dark shirt and dark trousers. And he says here that when he went out, he dressed up in a dark shirt, dark trousers, and Johnny Cash came to mind, if that makes sense at all.
All right.
This is giving you a chuckle. Thank you very much. And I've even got the hat, and I've got a belt with sort of embellishment on it, silvery embellishment studs or something.
Right. I can't remember that. I mind the dark jacket and the dark shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He was also. I've got some music here, and what I could hear was rocking all around the world. I think that's Status Quo. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. Yes.
Okay. And there's some sort of link with Rick Parfitt, because what comes to mind is in years ago, before they had all these distressed jeans for sale in the stores like they have today, Rick Parfitt used to buy these raggy A jeans. There's something about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, aye.
I've also got I've got a memory here. He's showing me thick white bread, black pudding, tomato sauce sandwiches.
I used to like black pudding many years ago, but I would never put tomato sauce on it. I don't know who that would be.
Okay.
Well, that's
I've
a
got
friend. That's a friend. That's a
Okay.
friend who did that.
Well,
yeah.
there's thank you. There's a memory brought in. It was, and the black pudding, I have to say, I can say it was cut as thick as the thick bread.
Yeah. That's right. Mhm.
Absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
Moving on. What else have we got? Let me just think. Come here. I've got some sort of link with Wolverhampton, or there's a connection with Wolverhampton, and I've also got connection with Southport. I'm going back a long time with Southport. That
Yeah,
might be going into childhood even.
that could be with my uncle that you're talking about. That could be with him with the Southport. The oh gosh, the other place you mentioned. It rings a bell, but I can't.
Wolverhampton, has that
Wolverhampton,
got
yeah.
something to do with football as well?
It could well be. I just can't recall that. I knew someone that stayed there who was a singer.
Right, okay. Well, I've got him kicking a football round now, so I don't know whether there's like, you know, from toe to knee to toe, that type of thing. And oh yes, showing off now,
Right.
hitting the head and back.
Definitely, yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll press on with he was a very healthy man until he was suddenly taken by quite an aggressive illness.
Yeah.
It was as if it happened quite suddenly.
It did.
And it left a shock. It left a shocker rippling round family and friends, because
Yeah.
there was hardly time to get used to the fact that he was ill, and he was then.
Yeah. And then he went.
Then.
Yeah.
I'll go on to the message then, Robert. And
thank you.
oh, he said I've missed out a bit about. He said he was a little bit podgy round the middle, and he knew that would make you chuckle. So I've obviously had to say that. At least they're his words, not mine.
No.
Okay, wonderful. And he said I like frying pan food, so that's probably why that's the case. So if that makes sense, wonderful. He's got a lovely sense of humour, this man.
I know.
He's like a gentle giant in a way, if I can say that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really good natured, but you wouldn't cross him. You'd see a different side. No, absolutely. Okay, so what's your message for Robert then? Right, these are his words. He says, stop sitting in the corner. It's time to come out of that corner. And he's being very firm about this.
Yeah.
He says, you know, you can do this.
Yeah.
And it's time. It's as if he wants to pick you up out of the chair and stand you up in front of everybody and actually be sitting here doing what I'm doing here right now. Because you have the skill, you have the ability, you have the connections. What are you waiting for? So he's laughing his head off. And if he did, did he wear boots?
He did, yes.
Oh, good, because he's just shown me if you don't get up out there, you're going to feel the toe of his boot. I just love it. Oh,
I used
God.
to say I could run faster than him, but no, I can't.
This is just wonderful. He could be one of my own. So, yes, in all seriousness, Robert, yeah, it's believe time now. And actually people need people like you, because you've got a good heart, you've got a good understanding. You could also work in a sort of counselling element in this field as well, because there's going to be new type of thing where they're going to the intuitive counselling, if that makes sense.
Yes, thank you.
And he's just happy that he's brought some humour in and he's got his message forward. And it's almost like he wants to sort of like do the fist sort of thing. And then, you know, the blokey sort of slap. Yeah. And that's his affection for you, a great deal of affection.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bless you,
Robert.
Thank
you very much. Thank you, Sue.
Coming in. It was a wonderful laugh. Thank you very much. Bless you.
Thank you, Sue. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Lola, and thank you, Kylie. Absolutely beautiful. Well done, all of you. So now, as we move towards the close of this beautiful service, we'll just enter into that time, this short space, and link in with our own healing abilities, sending out thoughts of upliftment, love, compassion, and healing to those that we know who at this time are most in need. So we'll just enter into a short silence where you can hold the images of those ones that you know will benefit by that healing power to surround and uplift them, gently in your minds, and tapping into the source of all creation. Divine and infinite Spirit, we give thanks for this gift of healing. We know that we can display that healing energy in so many ways. Keep us mindful of these opportunities to talk, to communicate, to reach out and help, or to sit quietly sending forward that love and that energy. In whichever way we display our healing abilities, help us to understand that we are the conduits of that infinite love that flows from the center of all things. Amen. So now, Lola, my darling. Oh, hold on. Mary, have you got your hand up for a reason, love? Or was that just a misfire?
No, no, I was just inspired, Colin, or Lauren, sorry, to just share a little prayer that just came to me from St. Patrick, if I may, seeing as I'm from Ireland, and it was his recent feast day, but it's just a beautiful prayer, and if I may share it with everybody, it's St. Patrick's breastplate, it's called, and it says, I arise today through God's strength to pilot me, God's might to uphold me, God's wisdom to guide me, God's eye to look before me, God's ear to hear me, God's word to speak for me, God's hand to guard me, God's shield to protect me, God's host to save me from snares of devils, from temptation of vices, and from everyone who shall wish me ill, afar and near. Amen.
Amen. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Nice
I just was
energy.
inspired to share that, Lawrence. It just came into my head, and I just said I might just share it with everybody, seeing as it was his feast day a week ago.
Lovely.
So,
No, that's the way forward. We are one. So thank you for sharing that. It was much appreciated.
it's been beautiful service. I really appreciate it, Lawrence, and thank you to everybody.
Oh, pleasure. And we go back to Denmark now from Ireland for the lovely Lola.
Thank you, Lawrence. I have this wonderful honor to close this divine service in prayer. But first of all, I will thank you, Lawrence, for making this opportunity to bring us all together, both this side and the other. From near and far, thank you, Lawrence. So let us now come together in the closing prayer. Dear God, I am here before you once again, in deep astonishment by the greatness you always show us when we surrender to you, when we allow us to expand to your ever-loving and giving love and energy. Let us be overwhelmed by the wonders and miracles you bring to us when we receive the healing you brought to us today. Thank you, God. And dear Spirit, thank you once again for letting us know that we are not alone, that your love and care never leaves us, and showing us that you are only a breath away. Always comfort us, leading us, healing the wounded and the lonely hearts. Your love never leaves us. I hope that we can bring this healing and love we received today to the ones around us and let it run like rings in the water, because we all need a little divine in mankind. So for now, dear loved ones, near and far, let us connect in gratitude in this closing. Amen.
Amen. I love your prayers, Lola. I really do. They're just like a chat with an old friend, and that's the way it should be. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who has joined us today. Huge thank you to all you wonderful people that have agreed to work today. You've all done magnificently. So thank you so much. It's been a sheer joy today to be in this energy and this atmosphere. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you wish to unmute now and have a little chat, by all means, please do. If you need to leave and make your way, God bless, look after yourselves, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Laurie, for the opportunity to work today, and for everybody here. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Sue, for the message, and thank you everyone for the day. It was lovely. Thank you,
Robert.
Lawrence,
He's brought a
that
lot
was
of humour
lovely.
in.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mary. Appreciate that. Thank you to my bevy of beauties. I'm not a lucky man to be surrounded by all these gorgeous ladies. Oh.
You're giving us a swelled head, Lawrence.
Hold on, one of the gorgeous ladies seems to have suddenly undergone some transformation.
Absolutely. Every day it's getting better.
Well, Mr. Eckhart, what did you think?
Yep. Bye-bye, everyone.
Lovely service.
Hi, Robert.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Did she do
Bye.
well? Has she run away? She's gone for a fag, has she?
Yeah.
I guess. Must be psychic.
I have to go now because my man is hungry and
Yeah, oh, right.
he's very impatient. But thank you very much for the opportunity, and thank you for the lovely energy, everybody.
No, thank you, Emma.
Thanks,
that
Emma. And it was a
reading
lovely reading.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You want to
Inspired
post?
by-
You want to post a link to that to share around because it's wonderful words.
Can I put it on the? No, I'll do it now. I will do. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
I didn't know my word carried so much authority. I'm quite scared now.
I know why it wouldn't happen.